Wow, that was a weird high. That's not my usual high. Here we are. Late night. It's past midnight by half an hour. I'm expecting no one to come, but that's okay. We're still gonna have fun. I had a busy day, and then there was a nap in there at some point, and now I'm rearing to go, and it's like midnight, so, oops. But when I'm ready to craft it, I'm ready to craft. I can't really help it, so we're gonna make some stuff. Okay, so we're doing outdoor Feetpaws. And at the request of the owner, they wanted me to put some vinyl bottoms on there. And I was pretty sure that these would get torn up very quickly, but they're just gonna kind of, for the most part, be very careful and treat them as indoor Feetpaws. I'm very curious how it will turn out. I'll let you guys know if they get ripped up or if they'll live. Hey, how you doing? Have you stopped by before, or are you new? Argentina at home. Argentina. Never been. Wow. So yeah, I'll let you guys know how this works. If it gets ripped up or if it looks good when she wears it for a few days. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so here's our pattern. I was gonna upload this on the pattern base on. I made like a pattern section for everybody just trading around their own homemade patterns on my Discord, but I only put one thing in there, and it was kind of just like a test pattern. It was some Halloween candy corn thing. But yeah, I was gonna put this one on there once I was satisfied with it. And I'm pretty satisfied with it, so I now just gotta remember to do it. Hey, Bonk, how you doing? Say Bonk. It's late for me. I don't know what time it is for you, but I hope you're having a good day or night. So I did already cut out one of these. This is that puzzle piece foam that you get to do workouts on. Yeah, it doesn't really matter the color unless you want specifically a color on the bottom, but we're going to use the black for the bottom. So yeah, we're just going to trace our pattern on here and cut it out. Oh no! I can tell it's a question because of the question mark, but I am so English. I as far as languages go, all I got is English. I'm sorry. 12:40 at night for. Oh, okay. Okay, I thought it was just me. It's like, it's late, so I was like thinking nobody would come, but that's really cool that you did. So thank you. Nice to see ya. I mean, even if you can't stick around, it's cool that anybody showed up at all. How was your day? Oh, Della, I didn't even see you there. Hey, Della! It is late. Oh, I am making... Oh, I don't have any examples. I'm making costume paws like this. Like this, these are like costume gloves. And it's gonna be like that, but like feet. Like feet ones. So people call them Feetpaws. That's a pretty decent question. I understand. That makes sense. It's a good question to ask. So I'm just tracing this with Sharpie, and I'm just gonna cut it out with an X-Acto blade. And I don't want to keep the excess Sharpie on there. Same as everything else, I would like to cut the Sharpie off. I don't want the Sharpie on there, because that's how you get your costume to bleed colors and Sharpie all over. Especially if you have like white or light yellow or peach or something like that. That Sharpie can bleed into the fur once it's all done, so we don't want that. Oh no! Oh no, Della! No! Maybe you should go to sleep. I don't want you to be awake just because I decided to stream at a stupid time. Z-Punk says, your sleep schedule is messed up really bad, so you don't mind sticking around. Aww! That's terrible! Why is it so hard to stay on a normal sleep schedule? Like, it's impossible for me. I actually cannot do it. Okay, this is my big old X-Acto blade. I've also got the smaller one here. And I'm just gonna start with the big one, But if I can't get enough detail, then I'll go down to the smaller one. Maybe not this thick. Hit me hoping I don't injure myself live on camera. I've only done that a few times. Yeah, when you're cutting this, try to not angle it in a weird way. Try to keep it as straight as possible. Yeah, I feel like I should be in bed right now too, but I just am not. I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to stream. Given my streams aren't as long as some people who do it for a living. Those people can stream. I don't understand how people can stream for like 8 hours and plus. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I guess if it's your job, but I could never do that. That's too many hours. I just get tired so fast. I can't even talk to people for that long. Like, even if I'm just hanging out with my friends, like, I can't hang out that long. I will be tired. It's like, I love you, but leave me alone now. What is the sleep schedule you speak of? Good point. There really is none. It's good for a week if you're lucky, but next time you think you're up at 3 a.m. Okay, next thing you know, you're up at 3 a.m. Yeah, right? How does this happen? She sees me for 5 minutes and already wants to deck you. I always want to punch you though, Phil. It's part of being the sister-in-law. It's my job. Also, maybe don't cut towards yourself. I'm just stupid and this is just how I'm doing it. You're not supposed to, though. Alright. Let's see how we did. Oh, man. Yeah, that usually happens. I didn't cut it all the way through, so it's still kind of attached on the other side. I'll take my little and I'll just skirt around it one more time. Hopefully I won't accidentally start cutting a second line. Like, I've done that before, where I go to, like, finish, like, cutting it all the way, and then I accidentally slip and cut, like, a completely separate... Yeah, it's embarrassing. I hate it when I do that. There we go. Okay, most of these other spots are cut all the way through, so... Oh, is this okay? Did I wreck that? No, it's fine. Okay. So I actually cut... Well, that's what it looks like. Can't really do much with this, though. It's like, I haven't found something to use with this yet, because it's just not big enough for a foot, and there's nothing I can do with it. I don't know. I have, like, a storage cabinet with weird stuff like that. Violence. You know, I am a firm believer that violence can be pretty fun. But you didn't hear it from me. Alright. So I cut out most of around the whole thing, but I didn't cut out these little nooks here between each toe, so I'm gonna get that. And for once in my life, I actually remembered to heat up the glue guns, so now we don't have to wait 5 minutes for those to heat up. I don't think I've ever sat around and waited for my glue guns to heat up, because I, like, try to use them before they're ready, which is really stupid, but I never learn. Alright. So if you have something like this, it's just kind of hanging off, you probably want to smooth it around. You don't want to, like, take off too much, though. Like, obviously you want the shape to match the other foot. But if you do have a piece of foam hanging off, you know, it might be best to cut it. Or you could glue it. If you accidentally cut, like, a big slice in it, you could glue it back if you need to. I just got the furs all organized for Della, except it's in a pile, so I didn't think you'd be here, Della, or I'd not have put it away, but I've got a stack of crates over here. These guys, and I have one, it's of course at the bottom, but that's the Tokami crates. Those two right there, the blue and the brown. So they are there. All the furs. Who? Okay. Hang on. Okay, there's still a little bit of Sharpie on these two spots, and I don't want Sharpie here. Oh! Thank you for following! Is it Harbinger or Binger? Because it's got two G's. Thank you very much for following. I'm gonna cut it a little bit more just because I don't want any of that Sharpie left. I think I showed it off one time, a long time ago, what the inside of my first bodysuit looked like, because I used Sharpie and I didn't like cut it off, and it didn't wreck it, but it's still a little bit weird. It's definitely not professional. I mean, it probably would be okay if you used Sharpie and didn't like cut it off, but I don't know. I get a little bit worried, especially if you're dealing with white fur. All food. Good. Oh, good. Okay. All food is good, too. I like all food. That is good. Alright, so we've got our two... Where'd the other one go? This one. Our two feeties. So this is going to be the bottom, and this is going to be the top. Like, this is going to be the way we're going to put the boots on. Typo, yeah. Yeah, that tricked me. I got very confused for a second. Okay. So now we gotta glue these guys on here, and it's gonna be a process because we need lots of glue. I'm gonna rotate this, actually. I don't like how my mat is sagging down, but I don't really have a choice since it's sitting on this bin. I need another table, like a rolling table. I don't have enough table space here. Okay. So, I'm going to set these exactly the way I want to wear them. Nice and straight. And then I'm going to set these up nice and straight the way I want to wear them. Now, depending on what you're doing, you might want... Oh, it's a little bit close here. Aw, thank you, Fel. You are so sweet. Welcoming the new friends. Depending on the way you want it, you might actually want, like, the feet facing outward. But most people just want the feet straight and normal, just normal straight, so they can angle it on their own when they're performing. So we're gonna just have them nice and straight. And I'm gonna stand up for a second to see if I have this good. So I'm trying to line up the top, like the center of the shoe here, and the bottom center of the shoe here to the center line of this foot. There we go. Okay. And the other thing is how high up you want it to be down here. I like to have it very close to the edge, like maybe a half inch away from being at the edge, because we can put a single sheet of foam going around it, and that'll take care of it. I usually just eyeball it, but honestly, maybe I should get a hunk of foam and put it on there for a second. Okay. Okay, so this is a good spot for it. So before we actually glue these on, well, I'm gonna grip my glue guns over here. We're gonna hack it up. So to make it like stick a little bit better, supposedly this helps. I mean, I've never had trouble either way, but so I'm just gonna take my X-Acto blade and just kind of cut some little slices in here. Hopefully it will help it grip a little bit better. So I hear. But I've never had trouble doing this or not doing this, so I just do it anyways. Why not? Especially something like this that doesn't like to grip. So I'm gonna do some little cross cuts? I don't know what to call it. On this foam chunk also. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but... Okay. So we can put some glue on there and slap it down. So let's, we better cut both of them. No, we'll do this one in a minute. Because once we use all the ton of hot glue, we're gonna need to wait a second for it to heat up more hot glue, so it's fine. We'll do the first one first. Alright, I'm gonna line it up again. Good, I'm not blocking anything. Just wearing my ice cream pants. No problem. That's just completely normal. What, you don't wear your ice cream pants around the house? Alright, this is not the best viewing angle, I'm noticing. I'm just putting a ton of glue under this shoe. Until the glue gun decides it doesn't want to give me any more glue. Which is right about now. So, I put as much as I could on there. I did about half the shoe up. I'll try to get a better camera angle this time. Actually, I don't know how to do that, maybe. Maybe I'll do... yeah. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry. And we're gonna start hacking up this one. So, I have no idea why I'm thinking about this right now, but I had a... okay, I was trying to brush some yarn because this was years ago, before I ever even made costumes. I just wanted to make like a tail out of yarn, because supposedly that's something you can do, is make like a yarn tail. So I was doing it, but like to brush out the yarn, I was using a slicker brush, which is just one of these guys for pets. But the problem is, I had it on my leg here, and I was kind of brushing it on here, and it totally ripped a hole in my pants. I had no idea it was going to be that sharp. And I found out that day that some slicker brushes are super sharp, and some of them are like, they actually have like little bulbs on the end to kind of make it not as sharp. So, interesting, right? I like to use the sharper ones when I'm doing certain, like when I'm picking fur out of seams and stuff. Most of the time when I'm making fursuits, I like the more sharp one, because it helps me get all the fur in its place. But when the fursuit's all done, I usually prefer the weaker one, because it doesn't rip out as much fur, and it's not necessary to have a ultra powerful slicker brush that's like super sharp. Okay. All set. So let's see how this one looks. It's on there. Could be a little bit better though, but that's okay because I'm not done. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna pull this up and just get as much under this toe as I can. Ah, no, I'm ripping it on accident. I'm a professional. Trust me. Yeah, I try to know what I'm doing, but frankly, I mess up all the time. Okay. I need more glue in my glue guns. This is the good stuff, the Gorilla Glue. This stuff, like, I just love it so much. It works so well. Alright, I'm not even... okay. You don't need to bother to put the glue on this part of the toe that goes up. Like, there's no point in that. Just the part that touches the base here. Because this part up here that comes up, like, you don't need to bend this to fit it. Just, yeah. Okay, so let's get the second one on his base. Yeah, it doesn't matter the colors because it's going to be on the inside. It's just, this is just what I happen to have on me. It was just these two colors, so. Okay, I'm trying to line it up so that they're exactly in the same spot. Because that could be not great if they're in different spots. Okay. So I'm just kind of leaning it over. I don't want to get it off the area that I just lined it up nicely on, but I do need to get under there to get the glue, so move over, you shoe. Okay, just a little bit more. Okay. That should do. So I'm going to push it down on there pretty good and make sure it looks straight with the other one, and it does. That's good. Excellent. Okay. So now, this one, I want to just kind of go around all the edges again and just get as much glue in there as I can because you want this to be quite sturdy, so trust the Gorilla Glue to hold on. If it has a lot of glue, and it's Gorilla Glue, the good stuff, I just love Gorilla Glue so much, it just works. Then it will likely hold. Oh wow, I'm not even in camera. Sorry. I'm just shooting glue in there. In all these little holes that I can make glue fit into. Okay. Feetpaws are fun because you're not stuck too long on one task or the other. You just kind of move like right along. But they do get kind of heavy, like, I mean that's kind of unrelated, but they do get kind of heavy when you're wearing them just because how much glue you need to get them to stay on their platform here. I mean, wow, I just thought about this now. What if I used a stronger glue? I've never thought of that before, actually. I mean, if I use some kind of super glue, it might... That would be really nice, actually. I'm gonna have to look into that. Because if I didn't have to use as much glue, but I used, like, a really almost probably dangerously strong glue, if it stayed, and you didn't need a ton of hot glue on there, it would be much, much lighter. Why have I never thought of this before? CloverCat moment, am I right? Okay, so this one, we need to pull the toe up and get as much under the toe as possible. This time I'm going to be smart. I'm not going to accidentally peel it off its base. Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try not to do that. No one said crafting was easy. But it definitely is fun, so... Okay. So this one is almost done already. The blue one's almost there too, but it's just one step behind. That looks pretty good. Pretty sturdy. It's hard to tell exactly how sturdy it is because the glue is still drying, unfortunately. Usually this is the part where I kind of like let it sit for 15 minutes, but I'm streaming so I can't really do that. Maybe I should have done one ahead of time. Dang. That's what I get for trying to do things live on stream, I guess. I feel like I want some more glue under this toe, and my big glue gun is too big to fit. It has a big butt, so I'm gonna try to use my little baby glue gun to get some more glue in here. Okay. And we're all set. Well, with the orange one. I think this one is good. It looks like it's going to hold really well to me. Because if I keep looking at it, I'm going to keep putting more glue, and it's just going to get too heavy. You got to figure out how much is the right amount of glue, and then stop. Alright. So the blue one, we got to go all the way around. I didn't do that yet. And the orange one should be good, unless I see another spot that really needs mending. So let's do that. Just going to stick a ton of glue in there and go around like I did with the other one. Yeah, I go through glue like crazy. I have a lot of uses for glue, and yeah, I just went through like 5 sticks already, honestly, though. Let's go through a few more, shall we? And these are the thick sticks, too, and not the mini glue gun sticks. So these are what you would call garden clogs, supposedly. I'm used to calling them Crocs, but I guess Crocs is a name brand, and I didn't want to buy a Croc shoe, like a real Croc shoe for these, because if you do that, you're buying like a $60-ish pair of shoes just so you can wreck them, and then they're hidden and you never see it again. So no matter your stance on Crocs, like... it's not good to use actual Crocs for this, I believe. But yeah, I tested out a few different brands before I settled on this one, and it works. It's comfortable and it works good, and that's really what we need. And I don't want to, I mean, I can use actual Crocs brand if you wanted me to, but I'm just saying, it would up the cost of your fursuit by like, you know, $60. Maybe more after shipping. So, I guess it depends on how expensive you want your fursuit to be. If you're going for a new record. But personally, I think that's just excessive. I don't think it's necessary. Alright. And this one I'm going to check again because I'm here. So I'm kind of just like squishing it down and just looking to see if the seams of the glue are like feeling and looking sturdy, or if they look kind of flimsy. Like if it's moving a bit, if it's moving too much when I like move it, like that's probably means it needs some more glue. But if it's holding pretty well, then that's the good sign. That's what we want. Obviously, you know, we want it to hold well. Okay. Good, so we're all set here. And now the next part doesn't take that long to get to between parts. I love that. Very, very fun. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever gotten the chance to use this stuff. 2-inch thick. Where's the 2? I gotta show the 2. 2-inch thick. I'm so excited. It's like the only application I've ever found that would actually be useful to use the 2-inch thick foam. I'm so excited. Because if you're making anything else, like, what else is there? Legs, I guess? Like the digi legs? You really need to have 1/2-inch thick foam because you can bend it and layer it. But, like, unless you feel like completely sculpting something, like this thick foam, this 2-inch thick foam is just way too thick. Oh, it's big. Oh, it's staticky. It's attacking me. Okay, that's nice. Okie dokie. So what is our goal here? Well, we need to build up foam around... Okay, move. There we go. We need to build up foam around the sides of the shoe. And then once it gets about this high, just enough to cover the toe, then we continue around here, around the ankle, but we stop here. Then once we have foam up here around the ankle, I mean, we're set. We just gotta carve some details of what the toes look like in between the toes, and then we're good. So then we can make a pattern on top of that for the fur. So this part is, I don't know, I always just really liked making Feetpaws. It's because it's really puzzle piecey. So there's a few ways you can go about doing this. You can put your pattern down and trace it and cut it out, and then like try to find the shape of the oval of the shoe and cut that out. So you have like this pattern, the foot pattern, that you can just set it right on top. But I've never had luck with that. And if you're working with the thicker foam too, it's gonna be really hard to keep that blade exactly straight when you're cutting. So instead, I'm going to do my favorite thing and absolutely use my artist intuition to do it all. So I'm just going to eyeball it. My favorite method. This camera, it just can't get high enough. This camera is not high enough for me. Okay, let's put them up here. Oh, what's it like? Wow, is it actually looking good? I was kind of worried. Oh, I unplugged. All right. Well, here's the other end of the USB. So I have it attached with a USB extension cord because it's the only way I could possibly make it reach my computer. Same with this guy, this light. When I accidentally unplug that camera, it's not so bad. It's this camera, like my face cam. When I unplug that one, it always freeze frames me on the stupidest frame. Like, it's like perfect for making memes of. Okay, that's great. It's a little bit far now. Wonderful. Alright, let's make it shorter. One day I'll have like, I could get like a rolling cart camera or something. That sounds like really cool. I wonder if that would work. Alright, let's put it down another layer maybe? See, now the problem is it's too far away. That's alright, I can make this work. I gotta work with what I've got. Okay. This is fine. Everything is fine. You guys are gonna be at a little bit of an angle, but I don't think it matters. So I'm gonna set Mr. Orangey aside, and we're just gonna work on Bluey right here. Okay. Yeah, I've never done this with this thick of foam. I've usually just used 1 inch thick, so we'll see how it goes. I'll let you know if it's a good idea or not. Alright, so sometimes I will stick it on there like this, and I'll just kind of like... It's such a bad idea. Try to guesstimate it, like... What an awful idea this is. You really should just actually do it proper. I feel like there should be some kind of measurements involved, but I just... What's the fun in that? Ah! Also, I keep underestimating how heavy this foam is. It's a big boy. Alright, so this is good, but the problem is I didn't cut it out straight, because I forgot how important it is to cut it out straight. So, I'm trying again. Cut another layer deep. Nice! Okay, so I just made this perfect little cutout, so I'm going to stick this on there. There we go. Haha! I'm gonna put this light up higher too, I think. So now that I moved the camera, the light is kind of not in a good spot. There we go. Is it bright enough? Yes, it is. Okay. Cool. So now I'm gonna glue this guy on here, and then I'll go from the bottom side and I'll cut off the excess. Okay, doing this right now, I'm highly thinking that doing this with 1 inch thick foam is the way to go. Because 2 inch thick foam is just, it's really hard to cut it straight. Like, nice and straight around every cut. That's the problem I'm having, but I've only done 1 piece. So, let me do a few more pieces and we'll try again. What are you streaming at 1 a.m. for? So I had to travel to try on wedding dresses with my cousin because she's getting married, and I got back, and then I took a nap, and then I woke up, and now I'm like rearing to go. I'm ready to stream, and it's like 1 a.m. So that's unfortunate. I do have an electric carving knife, but I just don't like it. Like, I like it if I need to cut big chunks or straight lines or big curves, but when I need to get very specific little details, it doesn't work for me. I've seen fursuit makers use it on, like, the face and details, and I'm just like, not me, man. I can't do it. You definitely need to invest in one if you don't. For sure. It's, like, life-changing. I mean, probably for other makers more who actually use it for everything, but for me, at the very least, like, sometimes I have foam that's too thick and I need to shave it, like, cut it nice and straight thinner, or I'm trying to do specific angle. Like, once in a while, it comes in clutch. Like, I freaking love that thing. I actually forgot I had it. I guess me dropping my knife. So I'm going to put this upside down and just kind of cut this, yeah. Again, cutting it straight is the hardest part. So I've done this with 1/2 inch thick foam, and it was way, way too thin. I had to do like 8,000 layers. It took forever. It was not ideal. So if you want to do this, I'm thinking maybe don't use 2-inch thick foam. I thought this would save me time, but it's just way harder. So I'm thinking use 1-inch thick. 1-inch thick seems to be the way to go. Plus, the more layers you have, the more glue you need to hold the layers together, so it gets heavier. So 1/2-inch thick is so not good for this. It's like the one thing that 1/2-inch thick foam can't do good. Because everything else, it's just like your main weapon of choice. Practice, practice, practice. Honestly, though, you're right. I bet if I tried to use it more, like, I wouldn't be as bad at it, and I would like it better. I haven't used it that much, so that might be it, honestly. Okay, but I do admit, I got this shape, like, really quickly. So I just flipped it upside down, and I just kind of cut this excess around. Nice! Okay, let's keep going. Oh, the foam keeps rolling away. Oh no, Alonzo! Don't burn yourself out. Oh. I was like, don't burn yourself. Yeah, I mean that too. I'll try not to burn myself and not to burn myself out. I probably won't stream for too long, but thank you. You got a big weekend and you gotta work. Oh no. Yeah, go to sleep because you need to get some rest. And I'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a good day tomorrow and a good weekend and all that. Okie dokie. So you can see, maybe, can you see? Yeah, I can see. You can see when I put it up here. You can kind of see. Let me re-angle this for you guys. When I put it up here, there's a huge gap between, and that's because this is cut at an angle. So I'm going to try again to straighten it out. Because that's like, yeah. That makes it a bit difficult. Maybe I should try my electric carving knife. So here's what I'll do. I will try the electric carving knife off stream when I'm doing the second foot. And I'll let you know how it goes. Because right now I'm believing that my favorite way so far to do it is 1-inch thick foam with the X-Acto blade in the workshop. And that's my game of Clue. It was Caitlin with the X-Acto blade in the workshop. We should make our own furry version of Clue. Does anybody ever even play that anymore? You have a big weekend, not me. Oh yeah. I was like, oh, you do too? What a coincidence. That's so funny. I'm so slow. You're so funny, Alonzo. Well, thank you for that. You're right. I'll let you know how it goes. Alright. Good night. Take care. I'm sure it will be a fun weekend. What could possibly go wrong? I should just cosplay as Bubsy, you know? I'm sure somebody's done it. Bubsy is just like a meme. Nobody actually likes Bubsy. Oh, that sounds so mean when I say it that way. I will say that the layers do build up fast with the 2-inch thick foam, but it's not... I don't know if I think it's worth it or not, because it's just so much harder to get the layer to be in the right shape. I don't know, man. I'm thinking the 1-inch thick. I'll let you guys know. Okay, so I just kind of squeeze it down on there a few times and make sure it's sticking. But then after that, you can kind of just like leave it to its own thing to like harden, dry up, whatever, stick to itself. So I'm going to work on this other front toe piece, and then I'll come back to this to cut it. That's what I usually like to do. I like to just come back to the other sides all at once. I don't know why I cut the toe. I was just really excited. Okay. Okay. So this piece won't fit anywhere. Maybe this one? This one might fit up here if I carve. It's like, I love doing the Feetpaws because it's so fun to do the foam work. It's just, it's a puzzle thing, you know? Like, this piece wouldn't fit. It was a triangle, so I cut out this rounded section, and now it'll fit. Yee! I love the puzzleness of it. I realized that the light is blowing it out, the color out a little bit, so I turned down the light. I think that will help a bit. Boy, I hope this will fit. If it doesn't, I'll use it on the other foot. Now this will work, but I will have to, see if I put this here, it will not cover that, so I'll have to put another tall column in there, but that's okay. I've got lots of scraps here. So let's glue this buddy in. I just use like a reasonable amount of glue on this. You don't need like an absolute ton, because for the most part it really just kind of sticks itself, but I do like to have a good enough amount of glue on there. I know that's kind of not specific, but basically just, you don't need to overdo it. Where's my scissors now? I think I need to, sometimes you just need to trim it, like, very specifically, and scissors are just nice for that. Yeah, I like doing Feetpaws. It's just like a puzzle, and it's really not hard at all. You just, well, maybe, I don't know, I guess it depends on who you are if you're not a puzzle person, but okay, so I put a slice in between these two toes, so I'm gonna put glue on either side to hold that slice in place. So, to hold that slice in place. Okay. So yeah, once your foam starts getting, like, touching and connecting, you're gonna want to start gluing those pieces together too. So you're gluing it to the bottom, like the layer. You're gluing the layers, but yeah, also the sides. So this part right here is a perfect example. It's like a little cutout here. So I'm going to glue the bottom and the sides to hold it in place. And I'm just going to stick it in. It always looks so funny when you're working on it. And you have pieces just hanging out and it's completely weird looking. Then as soon as you chop it off, like at the end, it's all fancy and nice. And you're like, ooh, it's a perfect shape. So yeah, the bottom of this thing really is the base that you work off of. So I'm going to do it with this piece too. I'm going to use the bottom to cut this off. Ozzy Bonk says, I remember my first time making Feetpaws. It was last year when I was 10. Yeah, I'm a bit young for, oh, that's fine. I tried so many times but couldn't make them right. Took me 4 pairs of shoes until I made ones that had an okay shape. Oh, you're still bad at making them. Oh no! They're kind of hard, honestly. I mean, everything this much, with this much, there's just a lot of different skills you need to be able to do to get it, like, perfect. So, it definitely will take a few times to start getting it, like, right, you know, like the way you want. But that's good. I mean, I'm glad you were trying. That's fun, honestly. Just doing it is half the fun, and then wearing it is the other half of the fun. So I'm glad you ended up with one that you kind of liked. And, you know, every single one you do, it always gets better and better. So the next one I'm sure you do will be even better. That's really cool, though. Like, there's not a lot of people, like, your age that just do art. That was my favorite thing when I was your age, too. Just doing art, but a lot of people, surprisingly, don't care to do art. But when you start at a young age like that, that's how you get good. Like, the greatest Mozart musicians and famous people that were actors, they all started when they were young, so it's cool to know what you like when you're really young. I don't know if that's just a hobby or just something you just did once, but hopefully you find your thing when you're younger and you figure out what that thing is, and you get a lot of time to practice it before school starts and work starts. And I'm just saying, use that summer vacation time you get to your advantage, because later on when you have work, you never get break. So don't waste it. Okay. So I've cut this out, and You can't really see this crook in between the toes that well. I'll hold it up better for you guys. Man, I cannot win with this camera. It's either too far or too close. Yeah, I'm heavily relying on the shape of the base here, so I don't know what I would do without it. Just a little bit of cleanup with the scissors now to get those little spots that I angled wrong. Okay, and we're getting there. And I'm still sticking to my guns. I believe you should use 1-inch thick foam for this. Ugh. Do it. But I'm glad I tried it. It needed to be tried. It was kind of like an important test. It needed to be done. Okay, so let's see what we need here. I probably waste so much foam just by trying to eyeball it, but I just like to. I just like to eyeball it. I think I don't know. Measuring takes time, and time wasting is, I guess it's not wasting time if you're measuring something, but it feels like a waste of time. Oh. Some poor woodshop teacher somewhere is like, I can't believe you just said measuring is a waste of time. So now I'm just kind of cutting some of this down just so I can fit this puzzle piece in there. I'm going to have to cut one or the other of these pieces, so I'm going to cut this one. I actually don't know if I have any 1-inch foam right now. I'm pretty sure I've only got this one, the 2-inch, so I guess that's what I've got to work with. You really enjoy it? Oh, it's a fun hobby. That's good. You're in a rush right now for the Anthrocon to get a fursuit. Oh, yeah. To get your fursuit done. Yeah! I'm working on the Feetpaws currently. Oh, nice! You have a supportive father who takes you to Joanne's whenever you have to. It's really nice of him to be so supportive over it. That is so sweet. I have... Okay, when I'm at the cutting counter, I saw a girl with her dad, and he was so supportive, and he was helping pick out the furs, and he was just really, really awesome. So I know what that's like to have, like, I've seen it firsthand, and that's really, really cool. Because there's so many parents that are just not supportive. They're not that. So that's really, really good to hear. That is so cool. I think my parents would have done that too if I was into this stuff when I was younger. I just didn't know it existed until I got old. But that's really cool that you enjoy that. That's a good hobby. I hope your hand paws are going okay. I'm kind of going last second too, because I'm trying to finish this suit for the con for somebody that's going to be at the con. So instead of mailing it to him, I'm just going to bring it to him at the con. But the con of that is I have to have it done for the con. How many cons can you fit in one sentence? Okay. I need a piece of foam. I'm just going to cut it off of this because I know it's... Okay. I've got like a little piece in here I need to fit. Is this gonna fit? I swear. I love this part. Puzzle piecing it is so fun. It's just satisfying when you get that piece to fit perfectly in there and you're like, yeah. Oh! Oh! That's really funny. Was that? That's funny. If that was you, it probably was, honestly. I'm pretty noticeable. To be fair, I mean, it might have been you, or it might not have been you. I'm not sure. However, I don't know if you go by he, she. I'm sorry. I was just guessing, girl, but I don't know. Is this gonna fit. This will fit, but I'm going to have to do some adjustments. But that's really cool, yeah. It kind of feels like Small World, you know? When you see other people. Of course, I was pretty vocal about you making a fursuit. We should make fursuits together on stream. She, her? Oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't sure. That's so cool. Yeah, like, okay. I've mentioned you a few times on stream before, because I was like, it was so inspirational how they were working so hard, and then their dad was there, and so supportive, like, you are a fun story to tell people for like, the positives of, like, families, supporting furries. Like, that is really cool. Alright, so this is going. It's going. I'm really wishing I was using 1-inch foam right now, because this 2-inch is just bothering me, but whatever. It's not easy, but no one said fursuit making was easy. Okay, nice and straight, Caitlin, come on. Alright. Cool, we're almost there. We're getting there. I can't imagine cutting my hair. I don't know what I would do with it. Like, it's been long my whole life. That's just how I wear it now. It's just how I wear it always. I don't know what I would do with it. I like to wear it down, but, like, it gets so hot sometimes, and, well, I could get over the heat problem. The problem is my hair is straight, and it gets tangled so fast. I can't keep up with it. So either I gotta go places with a brush, or I have to tie it up or braid it or something, because my hair will not stay untangled. And as soon as it gets tangly, which is in like 15 minutes, it looks like a rat's nest. So that's not good. Okay. So I actually didn't do this yet, but I like to glue the inside of the foam to the shoe, which makes sense. Okay. I'm just surprised I didn't do it yet. Ow! I'm burning myself. Oh, that's nice. No, I'm good. I'm good. Just a few seconds of pain, but we're good. You donated 2 feet of it. Woo! Used to have it down to your butt. Wow. That's long, and that's a lot of hair to donate. I mean, if you're gonna cut it, though, like, it's really nice of you to donate it. Someone somewhere is probably really happy because of that. I think it's cool that it's something that people can repurpose. I never would have thought that that's something that can be done. Do you like it short, or do you miss it long? Because I like short hairstyles are all the rage these days. I just prefer the long on myself, but I like all kinds of hairstyles. Kind of wish I could try something else, but I don't feel like cutting my hair, so... I don't really know what you can do with straight hair either. I never really looked into it. I mean, I know how to braid it, and that's about it. Can do a ponytail. Alright, I've glued it to the sides. It's sticking for the most part. I really should be holding it tighter. Make sure it stays. So, next step here is we're actually going to need to start using 1/2-inch thick foam, because we're getting to the top of this already, which was very quick because of this thick foam. So I'm going to have to do a layer of 1/2-inch thick foam all the way around. Well, maybe not all the way around. Probably just this front piece, because after that, I'm trying to get this foot piece like flat with the foam. And then I can put a layer on top that completely is flat, that covers the shoe. So this piece, yeah. So let me fix the heel, and then we'll start adding the next layers.
sort of medium right now. I like it always medium, tall, long, medium, short. That's good. That's cool. Then you can experience all the different hairstyles. I'm gonna chop these as I go. I've cut these before and then did it at such a horrid angle that I had to add more foam and try again. Like, I've really messed it up before by not cutting it straight enough. So now I'm like all worried that I'm gonna have to try again. And foam is expensive too, so I really hate wasting it, but it's kind of part of the thing. Like, you're gonna waste supplies, unfortunately. Thankfully, though, like, the better, more practice you get at it, like, you start using less supplies because you're starting to get it right first time rather than needing more supplies to get it right. So, that's good. Hopefully one day I'll waste less. Well, at the very least, I'll be using the right thickness of foam next time, so I'll be definitely wasting less from getting the pattern wrong. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And this one's probably dry enough. I'm just gonna cut this side too. I know you're not supposed to cut towards yourself, but I just do. I don't really think about it. I just think about cutting it. That's like really bad. I probably should try harder to make sure I'm not cutting towards myself. Okay. Let's get that heel piece and then do the 1/2 inch thick foam. Huh. Let me borrow. Actually, I thought we were going to have to do like a layer of 1/2 inch thick around and then do one that can go on top, but frankly, it's tall enough as it is where I can just put the 1/2 inch thick on top. I don't really need to do one higher layer up. It's kind of already good. Okay, gotta finish this heel first, then. Okay. So for this back part, like, this whole heel section, you can actually get away with using 1/2 inch thick foam and just going around. I don't know why I didn't think about that. I probably should have. Woo! Poked myself. Oh! It is expensive. You bought 5 inch foam for the Feetpaws. It cost $80. Oh! Right? It's kind of shocking. You don't expect it to be that much, and then it's just... It is! Yeah, I always wanted to experiment with the thicker foams for making the Feetpaws, because it just, I mean, for the way I'm doing it now, layering it, I think 1 inch thick is the best, but if you were to, like, start from scratch and carve it out, 5 inch thick could work pretty good. Like, that would be pretty cool to see. That would be really fun to try, actually. I'm kind of tempted. I'm gluing the sides as I go. Alright. So this is good. I hope I have enough 1/2 inch thick foam here. I think I have a roll behind me, but we will see. Kind of worried. Oh no, I'm good. I've got a ton. I thought I had like none, but actually I've got like an actual roll and a half over here. We're good. Okay, so this is the part where I'm gonna do the whole front of the foot here, and it's gonna kind of come up and curve around this, and that's okay. We're not trying to do that exactly, though. The best way for me to do this is to just show you and then explain why I did it this weird way. Okay, so like this. And the reason I did it this way is because I don't want it to be... It's... For the shape of the foot, this is just the way I like to do it, I guess. I have no better explanation than that now that I think about it. So I'm gonna glue this on, and then I will cut it off. I need more glue though. I'm running out of glue here. It worked out good for my first pair though. I mean first pair. That's funny. So there are holes on the top of this, and obviously I don't want glue to like drip through it, so I'm being pretty careful to not. Trying to get it perfectly on there. Ooh, sorry. Okay. So that's gonna sit. I'm gonna drink some water. Yeah, my first hand paws and feet paws weren't that great either. I think that's just the nature of the beast, but now we're starting to get somewhere. Like now you and I, we're getting some skill. The more you work at it. Okay. And I'm gonna get this side now. Using the mini glue gun here because I think I can get a better amount of just need a little bit of glue in a lot of spaces here, so little mini glue gun is a good spot for this. Okay. So let's flip it. Honestly, probably not the best way to be doing this. There's gotta be a better way, but the way I do it is just so weird. Again, make sure you don't accidentally angle it when you're cutting. Okay. And I just got that basic shape out there. I didn't get the real whole thing. But I will do that now. Ooh, I gotta change this blade. It's getting dull. I can tell because I have to do a rigorous sawing motion to get it to cut rather than just like a faint movement. Thankfully I just bought a ton of blades, but even the X-Acto blades are expensive. Making any kind of fursuit related thing is so expensive. It's like the supplies are expensive, and like the supplies you use, like the disposable supplies, like the foam and stuff, like one-time use, those are expensive. And then the stuff that you need constantly, like the scissors, and, well, I mean, thread is disposable, kind of, but, like, the X-Acto blades, like, your tools, I guess I should say, those are expensive, too. You can't win. What is this life? Okay. Being a little bit more cautious with this one, because if I angle it wrong, I don't know. I don't want to angle any of them wrong, but the problem with this one is I didn't finish gluing it down first, so it was harder to get the right shape. Okay, so now you got that kind of four toes shape going on here. And I'm going to finish gluing it down. Actually didn't glue it to any of the foam yet, just the shoe. It's just a moderate amount of glue. I don't need like a ton to hold it in place, but okay. I love Feetpaws. I know I keep saying that, but I'm genuinely having a good time. They're so fun to me. It's probably my favorite thing to make, honestly. I never really thought about it, like what my favorite thing to make is for fursuits. I used to think it was the head, but nah, it's kind of stressful. It's actually I'm thinking it's Feetpaws, because when did I not have fun making Feetpaws? Oh, you sell Dynamask at the moment, and that's how you got money for stuff. That's cool. I mean, that's a good thing to do, is to try to sell some stuff and make some money. And yeah, I mean, it gives you a way to purchase your expensive things. That's really cool. Okay. We're getting there. I'm actually feeling... Well, depending on the shape of the toes, like here's the side view for you guys. Depending on the shape of the toes, we might want like another layer, like the height of the toes, I mean. I'm kind of thinking we might. Just one more layer, but only for the toes here. Not like this curved piece. This curved piece is fine, but let's put another 1/2 inch thick layer, but just for this toe section. Let's do that. We'll see how that goes. Man, it's like a wonderful thing to be working with this stuff after dealing with the 2 inch thick foam. It was just really, I didn't expect it to be so hard. Alright. Me wasting foam again by guesstimating. Okie dokie. Is that what Mario would say? Okie dokie. And then he would say something about spaghetti. I want to play Bowser's Fury because I haven't played that yet. Like, I played Mario 3D World on the Wii, like, a lot with my family and friends because that one was just a fun party game. But I haven't, I mean, the Switch release of it has the Bowser's Fury, which is kind of like a bonus, and I haven't tried it, and I'm very curious. Your favorite is the tails. Honestly, though, I totally can see that. You can make some really cute tails. Like, there's so many choices for tails, and it's completely doable, too. You don't have to spend, like, weeks working on it, like the head or something. You just do it, and it's so fun. It doesn't take too long, and you get such a cool result. Tails are fun. Thumbs up for that. Alright, so I'm gonna wait for that to dry. Let's start doing this ring around the heel here. So, I like to just I mean, this is kind of already rolled in a tube here for me, so that's nice. I'm going to try to measure this. What I should do is get a measuring tape and kind of measure around how big I want it to be. But, like, who does that? I just really like to guesstimate. It's just so much more fun. Okay, so I want it about this tall? A little shorter. I really don't want it that tall, because then if they want to combine it onto a fursuit one day, like a fursuit bodysuit, it won't be super hard to do. So I don't want it to be super long. Okay. So I'm just gonna cut a strip. I was thinking about, because somebody brought this up on the stream the other day. I was thinking about doing, well, for my tail giveaway that, you know, I just can't get it to work. I'm still working on it. It's gonna work. But I'm thinking, like a dino tail. Like, one of those nubs that just goes straight out, and it's a big triangle shape. They're so cute. I love those things. I've been wanting to do like a dino tail for the longest time, so that sounds really, really fun to me. Okay, so I'm gonna put this around the back here. And I need it to go around this front too, but the problem is it can't fit proper because this front piece is coming up, so I'm gonna need to cut like a little groove for it. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of once again guesstimate in my brain. This must be really, like, anybody who, like, really prefers to use measurements and stuff must be losing their minds watching me, because I do not work like that. It's yikes. I mean, I will if it's easier, but I just don't know how I would do it for this, frankly. It's like a completely different kind of thing. I just don't know what I would do. Like, how would you measure for this? I mean, unless you made a pattern that told you the exact sizes of foam to cut every time, that would be nice. That would be very, very cool. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure somebody has done that somewhere. But as it stands, without a pattern like that to go on. It's just me guesstimating the shapes, puzzle piecing it together, and doing my best. And honestly, having a blast doing it, if I may say so. Feet. This is a really weird way to build the foot. Like, I don't think I've ever done it this way. I don't know, it just hasn't ended up this way before. Just the odd nature of the way I'm putting it on. Usually I just do it in a slightly different order of operations. Still ends up looking the same, so I mean, it's fine, but... It is almost 2 in the morning, ma'am. Hey, Avengers. Happy to see you here. That's so funny. How are you awake, too? I have no idea why any of us are awake. Zevonk says, those are really cool. I really want to make one, but I had so many other things to work on. Right? Like, we've all got that, like, to-do list of things you want to try that's, like, 8 miles long. It's so hard to actually ever like, I don't even know if it's possible to finish all the things you want to finish. Because you keep coming up with more cool ideas. Honestly. That is so funny. I didn't think anybody would be awake. I haven't even checked the chat. That could have been like 5 to 10 minutes ago. But that's really funny. I sleep all day because I took a nap. And then now I'm awake. So I need to do awake girl things. Which I guess is stream. Okie dokie. This is actually going really well. I'm definitely going to do the other one off stream so that I can catch up. So that they will be on the same page together. But I'm hoping I can get the Foamwork done tonight. I kind of don't have a lot of time before Anthrocon, and I wanted to have these done. So we'll see what I can do. Your sleep schedule is wonky because of the poison ivy. Oh, you're so pitiful. I'm so sorry. That is so sad. I can imagine that messing with your sleep schedule for sure. When do you think you're gonna go to bed, or did you just wake up, or what? So right now I'm just filling this hole. I found a tiny little hole and I'm filling it up with another thing of foam. Kind of not necessary, but I kind of just like to fill the holes in. I think it makes it a more stable thing if you don't have just random gaping holes in the foam. I mean, I don't think it'll ever be noticed. I just think it's a good thing to do. You finished Red Dead Redemption 2 last night. I sobbed. You know, I own both games, and I have not barely played the first, and I have not even touched the second. Do you think it matters if I go in order, or should I just jump to 2, or what? Also, did you sob because it was sad, or did you sob because it was over? Or did you sob because it was awful? These are the important things we need to know. Alrighty, let's cut off all this extra foam on the toes now. It's starting to get hard because it's bumping into the foam. I can't cut it straight all the way because it's bumping in, because it's too tall. It's too tall. It's definitely going to be hard to cut it straight now. What is this world? I can't believe I can't cut my foam straight. I don't remember. I mean, it was a long time ago since I played Red Dead 1. And I didn't even play it that much because I was only at a friend's house. I didn't own the game yet. And now I own it, but I haven't had the chance to touch it, so. Definitely something I would like to try. I mean, it looks fun. I remember being mad because I couldn't steal a train. I mean, that seems like a very standard, like, Western thing, you know? stealing a train, you know? You know? It just seems like something that you should have been able to do in the first game. Maybe in the second game, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. There are moments that you won't appreciate as much without playing the first, but technically 2 takes place first. Oh! That's helpful. I stopped because sad. Oh no! Alright, I can, that's, I will be sad, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, I'm just gonna be sad, actually. There's no getting out of it. I get sad so easy. I can't do sad things. I cried at a movie the other day, and I don't remember what it was. It was the most... It wasn't even that sad. Oh, no, it was really sad. Never mind. It was really sad. I give myself permission to cry at that. It was WandaVision. That was a few weeks ago, actually. Yeah, I definitely cried hard at that. Okay. So what I'm doing with this right now is I'm kind of like angling this part right here to kind of flow better. Just making it rounded. And now I'm going to carve the toes. Like, I'm so used to making this foot so much taller, but I've decided I want to start making them shorter, so if people want to get, like, feet paw, like, if they want to get, like, bodysuits one day, they can attach their feet paws, and it won't look stupid, and it'll be easier to do with, I think, because, you know, the back heel needs some space, so if I make it go straight up, it'll look weird. So anyways, this is a pretty good height, I believe. WandaVision was a tearjerker. Yes, it was! I'm so sad. I didn't think it would be like that. I was just like, these are some cool characters. Didn't expect to start crying. You can steal train in 2. Oh, good! Finally! You need to be able to steal a train. That's such a Western thing. You played the original so much in middle school. You were in K-12 online school when it came out. Skipped class all the time just to explore. Oh, that's funny. What did you do in school? Oh, I played Red Dead. Okay. So, I cut just a really thin slit on the top here. I'm actually just going to bring the camera closer because now we're doing some detail work. We need to be nice and close. Okay, normally when you're doing this, I like to do both feet paws at the same time because it makes it much, much easier to make them symmetrical. However, I've done this so many times it'll be fine, but for me, but I think if you're doing this, you should do the foam work together, then cut the toes out at the same time together to try to keep everything symmetrical as you go. Okay, so just kind of cutting out like some little slits here. And I'm gonna make sure I don't want like straight angle here. I want it kind of curved in a little. It's kind of like an artistic decision which way you want the toes curved. And I'm just gonna cut out a little hunk. I love how whenever I'm awake, you're awake too, Avengers. Like, what is this? The Originals Zombie Apocalypse DLC was incredible too. Probably spent more time in that part of the game. That I have, okay, that's the hard copy I have. I have the hard copy version of that. I mean, okay, but since I bought it, I haven't played it. I only played my friends, on my friend's one, so I don't know. It's gonna be weird seeing zombies. I'm not sure how that will feel, because it's supposed to be a Western, but with zombies, that's kind of weird, but, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fun, and that's all that really matters. Okay, so, we just kind of carved little triangle-shaped hunks out of here. Now let's do rounding of these edges. So you can see this is still quite square. So I'm going to start here and just kind of... Don't cut off too much at once, because it's easier to cut it off after, but you can't really put it back on easy. So just do like a light little cut. I'm going to just do that for all of these, actually. Yeah, we always seem to never sleep, right? Together, we never sleep. It's quite shocking, actually. I'm surprised that you're always awake at the same time as me, because I go to bed and wake up at the most random times. Like, you'd think it would still be set to some kind of standard, but it's just like, no, today I feel like sleeping all day, and tomorrow I'll get up early, and it's like... Okay, where are my favorite scissors? These are my favorite scissors. These Carbo Titanium Westcott scissors that are green and white. These have always been my favorite. Don't know why. I mean, maybe because it's green, but... I don't know, they just cut so well. I don't really have any other excuse other than that, I guess. Alright, so I cut out the basic main shape of it with the X-Acto blade there, so now I'm just kind of rounding it out with this. Just any of the weird transitions. Like, this is kind of like a really sharp, like, sudden edge. So just round it out nice, and not spend too much time on it, because you might not even like it. You might want to trim off more after. So we're just going to round it out a little bit, and then we're going to look at it and see how it looks. See if we need any more drastic changes. If we don't, then we can do more detail. But if we need drastic changes, then we'll do that next. It's a non-canon thing. Just kind of like, what is this Western world we made broke up? Oh, what if this Western world we made broke out into supernatural disaster? Oh, okay, that makes more sense. I was like, trying to understand. That sounds like it would be weird. Just like suddenly. But yeah, if it's not canon, that would make more sense. I was trying to explain the word canon to my mom a few years ago, and she just did not get it. She's so cute. Okay, so let's see if we like this shape. Well, I'm noticing one thing. This part in between the toes. Okay, I'm not gonna show you my foot, but I'll show you my hand. This webbing here, have you ever seen it bump up? Never. It's supposed to go down. So if yours is sticking up like mine, let's kind of just chop it out a little bit. There we go. It just was a little bit too tall. Okay. So I think I need to do a little bit of rounding on the sides right here on each one, but for the most part, this is a really good general shape. I could spend a lot of time making this absolutely perfect, and frankly, I'll probably do another detail check after I'm done streaming, but for the most part, like, this looks really, really good. I'm into it. Okay, so now I'm fine with the tops here. Alright, what I'm not fine with is the toes are supposed to curve up and then curve down right here. And they kind of don't curve down enough for my liking. So I'm going to take this, just chop it to come down exactly where I want it. Because it just doesn't look right to me. This is one thing that will be really helpful if you know how to draw. Because if you know how to draw, it means you can kind of see these things. Like, you see something you don't like, and you know how to fix it. So knowing how to draw a little bit will help you with that. Seeing things that you know you need to fix. Okay. So essentially, this very top layer of foam has just become 4 separate rounded layers on the top, because I just cut it off of right here. So here's the first one right here on the edge. And this one is the second one. Here's the third one. And I've almost got the fourth one done. Give me a sec. Sorry, that was a weird angle. Okay, so these are nice and round. I'm into that. Cool. And for the front here, this one's kind of hanging over a little bit. It's supposed to be nice and straight. So if yours aren't straight, if you need to cut any more gaps in here like this to make it so you see like the gap in between the toes, now's a good time to do that. I might cut a slit in here actually, because there is none. Okay. Okay, Avengers says it plays out like a campy horror movie, and I love those. They're terrible and wonderful. And Fel says, I'm gonna tell on you. No, not me, Mommy. Mama Crabs. She said that you don't understand what canon is. My mom doesn't understand canon either. I've tried to explain it to her. Oh, well, at least we tried, right? There's that. Okay. So here's foot. Camera's a little bit close, but honestly, this is foot. I could make the toes a little bit taller. Probably should shape this a little bit better. I'm not... For being my favorite scissors, they're pretty dull, so I'm going to switch to these scissors. Which are also green Westcott scissors. They have a different blade, so they're still not my favorite, though. They're fine. It's not my favorite. Alright, I really like this to be rounded right here at the end of the toe. I don't really like it to be blocky, like this nice rounded spot here. Okay. Let's try it. Let's try it on. Going up. Ugh. And this is a left foot. Is it on the camera? Where's my camera? It's over here. I need to readjust. Oh, I'm getting too old to exist. Alright, how's that? Better. My light is in the way, but... Foot! Move, light. You're in my face. Yeah, so we have foot. Cute. So, of course, your proportions can be however you want. The shape can be whatever you want. But this is what I've got, and I think it's very, very cute. So, we're good. If you want to see the pattern again, this is the way I did it. You're going to want to start first with your garden clog. Get the right size for yourself, and then put it down, and then draw the shape of the shoe you want. Like, draw the foot paw shape around it. And that's how you make your pattern. So, there you go. You wrote a script for a video on the zombie mode back in 2020 for Halloween, but never finished it. What? That's awesome! Oh, okay, Zivonk. That's awesome. I hope you got some good work done. And I'm probably gonna sign off here in just a minute too. I'm almost done. So have a good night. Okay, so this is a little bit difficult because now I'm not sure. I guess I'll just have to stream tomorrow because I was gonna put the pattern on there. Basically, I gotta tape it up and then draw the pattern on there and then rip the tape off, but I think maybe I should do that tomorrow too. Yeah, that's fine. I'll finish the foamwork today and then we can do the pattern tomorrow. Fun! Okay. Surprise! We finished for tonight. Alright, well thanks for making this shoe with me and starting this shoe with me. We kinda got there. We tried. So we will have some Feetpaws in a few days. Thank you for hanging out, everybody. And have a good night.